I was giving a talk at the Oakville Milton Real Estate Board. Talk about a group of people. Woo! you can all take that whatever way you feel like. That's fine. I've been exposed to everybody and realtors in Oakville my whole life. I can name you off 27 of them right now if you want, and you know probably 6 of them I'm thinking of. Because they're just plastered everywhere. So, this person, I'm doing this talk. He's at the back of the room watching me talk, and he's looking for the one thing you really want in real estate, according to me, which is the exponential referral. It's the person you find in your community that is well connected in the community as well. That you know if you do a great job with them, that'll exponentially bring in referrals. Especially, and I was hearing it up on the panels here before too, that local is so important like that. Really important. And so he's at the back of the room, and he's like, he's gonna be he didn't say it out loud, that'd be weird, but he's like, that guy. And I flew off to India. I had to fly right after that talk and do a talk in Delhi. I came back after that, and then I was in the Yukon. I was like all over the place. It was like the book was coming out. It was crazy. I get home a few weeks after the talk. And what I don't realize is while I've gone off to India and all over the place, Petra starts doing his research. Because once you identify who that person is, now what? Because at the talk, I was not kind, even remotely, to realtors in that talk. Because I was furious at what was happening in social at the time. They're just spamming open house listings all over the place. I'm like, you're ruining there's so much potential you could have here, and you're just killing it. And he went, and you want to write this down, he used the research tool. It's on the dark web. It's a research tool. It's called LinkedIn. And he went to this LinkedIn place and saw that I freely talk about everything I do. And he saw that Allison and I had 2 podcasts we were doing at the time. One was called the UnPodcast, the business show for the fed up, which is just Allison and I ranting about terrible business. There'll never be a lack of content for it. And the other show was the Vegas 30. The Vegas 30 was for Alice and I talking about Vegas. We loved Vegas. We got married at the drive-through chapel at 11:08 in the morning. It was the best. We were the first. They had to unlock the window. It's like getting early to Arby's. You know you're getting the good stuff, right? You know you're getting the good stuff. So he looked it all up, and he saw the Vegas thing. And on the Vegas podcast, one of the things we talked about was a place called Ronald's Donuts in Las Vegas. We were talking about this place because I had heard about this place. I talked about it on Reddit, and there's like, you've got to go to this place. And I'm like, what? It's a donut place. And I went on Yelp, and it had 242 reviews, and like real close to full 5 stars, like, 4.8, 4.9. And then a second closest donut shop in Vegas was Krispy Kreme with 7 reviews. And it was pretty much like, you know what's here. Why are you reading the review? Like, there was no question whether or not what was happening. And this place had a religious following. I read one comment, it said, this is my favorite place in Vegas. I'm like, have you actually been? There is so much more there than a donut shop. There's a whole strip dedicated to the place and everything. The second one was, I rent a car solely to drive to this. I'm like, what an idiot. The whole city is built on cabs. Anyway, so Alice and I rented a car, and we went to Ronald's, and so we drive up to Ronald's Donuts, and we pull up, and it's like this seedy strip mall. That's redundant. It's a strip mall, and you kind of go up, and there's paper. And can you all give me a second? It's a photographer. Give me 1 second. Good to see. Oh, hang on 1 second. I'm thinking. Okay, good. Thanks. All right, great. Oh, wait, no, I got one more. Ready? Realtor approaching you at a networking event. Ready? Yeah, just leading with the card every time. I'm like, I didn't ask. I did not ask. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, so we walk up to Ronald's Donuts. It's not going well. It's in this strip mall. The windows have paper on them. And there's a hand-drawn sign on the door. All it says is cash only. Obviously, what you think is, this is where you go and buy cocaine. So I open the door, obviously, and just whoop. And you walk in, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's a bad timing with the cocaine joke. It's a smell of donuts, and it was, oh my God. You walk in, you're like, oh, what is it? This is real donuts and stuff. Like, you smelled the baking and the things and all this stuff. And I walked in, and then I realized, I stopped, and I'm like, oh my God, we didn't order ahead. We needed 6 dozen donuts. We were doing a breakout talk at a convention thing on the Strip. By the way, if you're doing a breakout and you got to draw people to your thing, bring donuts. They'll come every time. So we got it, and I needed 6 dozen. Go to a Tim Hortons. After this, go to one right now and ask for 6 dozen donuts and don't call ahead. Right? What are they at? Take care. Goodbye now. Not a chance. I walked in, I'm like, how long for 6? I got dozen out. They're like, here you go. They're good to go. What do you want? Vegan? Nut free? I'm just like, what is this, a challenge? Okay, fine. So we drive back to the Strip. I've already eaten all of them. So, fast forward, I return from Delhi, and we all get back, finally home. And the doorbell rings. And Allison answers it. And sitting on the front porch is a dozen Ronald's Donuts from Las Vegas on our doorstep in Oakville. Allison says, babe, there's donut. It gets to dough, and I am high-stepping down the stairs, ripping down the corner, and like slide into the donuts and just start shoving them into my face hole. And she's like, do you not want to know who they're from? I'm like, I don't care, but maybe them for a sleepover? We can bring more. And then we look inside, in the box, inside the box is a backwards taped business card, so the blank side on the back. And it's just handwriting. And I pop it off, and it's from Petrus, the gentleman who saw me speak at the Oakville Milton Real Estate Board. And all he wrote on it was, hey, Scott, because he had already sent an email a few weeks before just saying thanking me for it. And I'm like, great, an email from a realtor. I can't wait to read his PS. I wonder if it's going to say, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Because I was wondering that. I was really curious in that moment in my life. Would this realtor who is spamming me be too busy for my referrals? I was about to send you 9 clients. And then I went, whoa. Maybe this is one of those realtors who is too busy for my referrals. I could do a 40-minute talk just on that bit alone. Just that bit alone. So I read it. And it says, Scott, thank you again for your talk at the OM, the acronym for the talk. I learned so much. Thank you, Petrus. And P.S., on the card, still, I heard you like these donuts. I swear, that son of a bitch, I went and I'm hunting him down. I am now publicly looking for a realtor in all caps on Twitter. At the time, I am the #1 Canadian on Twitter. I am number 3 in North America. You know who number 4 was that week? Obama. I had pull. I got none now. But it was a good time back then. I am on Twitter with 140,000 followers, and at that time, that was huge. That was before the celebrities hit, then Bieber messed it up for all of us. It was actually Ashton Kutcher, I think, it started it all, but anyways. Right? And I am screaming from the rooftops, talking about this realtor I need to find because I love him so. Everybody thought I was hacked. And he reaches out with a DM, and he's like, hey, man, I'm glad you got the donuts. I wasn't sure if I should do it or not, and I really appreciate your talk. And I'm like, cool, man. Hey, what happens now? Because I ate them all. By the way, how did you get our address? It's a question still not answered to this day, by the way. It's how he figured out our address, but fine, it was free donuts, it was fine. Right, so, and I said, so what happens now? Like, is this now an orally agreed contract? I've eaten the product. I have now agreed to your representation. Like, was there something in there? Was there a contract in the eclair I wasn't looking at on edible paper? And he's like, oh, God, no. No. I don't want you to buy a house. I'm like, are you saying I can't buy a house? I'll buy 2. Well, tell me when I can and can't buy a house. What are you, a realtor? So he's like, no. I don't want you to sign with me. This is not a trick. I learned a lot from your talk. Thank you. And I'm like, yeah, I know you know. And what he doesn't know at that time was Allison and I were heading into the studio to record our podcast. We do it once a month because I was on the road so much. We do it once a month. We do a month of episodes. See the pink box in the background? Guess who we talked about on the show that day for 4 weeks in that month of shows? Was Petrus the Donut Man. So he doesn't show up the next day and is like, all right, now, sign on the dotted line. All he does is put us on his VIP list. And just drip. Not obnoxious. Doesn't go full realtor. Drip. A little bit here. Here's a glossy magazine, Scott, but it's mostly architecture focused, not just the houses that are sold. I'm like, I like this. This is fancy and glossy. Didn't mail it to us, though. Was dropped off at our front door in a black glossy bag. Didn't make me walk to our community mailbox. You got one of those in your community? Yeah, you got to put on pants now to get your mail. I'm sorry. We do now, after the court case I had and everything else. Apparently your robe is in streetwear attire. It gets a little gusty in the fall in Oakville, and well, you put the community mailbox in, I didn't. I used to be able to just go like this. Bring my hand back in. You had no idea what was happening here. Well, now you all get to see. That's how this works. So he drips it. That's it. A year later, Allison and I, so we have 5 kids combined. Youngest 3 are hers. The oldest 2 are mine. We had a merger a decade or so ago. Let's be honest, it was more of a hostile takeover. We had to let a few kids go. We had some redundancies. So then we reach out and realize we need to find a bigger place. So what do we say? Who do we know? There's only one person I know. There's only one person in the batter's box right now. And that's Petrus Vlad Guerrero. That's who it is. And so I'm going to email him. And Allison emails him. I swear to God, she presses send just to have a conversation. The doorbell rings. I open up. He's like, hey. It took you guys a year. I was at Richard Robbins' event. They said about 8 months. But he's like, I was in the neighborhood. And I was in Oshawa, actually, and I drove there. But I'm good. So you want to talk houses? And of course we tell them, we're like, of course, we're those people, right? We're like, yeah, we just want to start looking. It's probably in the next year. And he's like, no problem. And I said, man, just don't be realtor on me, okay? He's like, no problem. The next day, he's like, I found you a house. And I'm like, that's going full realtor. I said a year. Fine, we'll go look at it, just out of spite to you. So we put an offer on it. Yikes. I was talking to a friend. He's like, yeah, we saw probably 30, 40 properties. And I'm like, what? You don't put just offers on the houses you see? Is that it? Oh, I got to learn how this real estate thing worked. I didn't realize I was to go to 40 houses first. I'm so sorry. So he comes, he shows up, but here's the thing. Now he has to deliver. You can't be good at donuts and suck at real estate, right? You can't be good at the gifting and suck at the communication. The main thing is always the main thing still. But if the main thing is great, they can't find out about that until you do those other things around it. And he has to deal with me. For a living, people stare at me and smile and clap. Do you know what that does to your head? And so we don't get the house we put the offer on. We're like, phew, you know what? That was a little impulsive. That was a little silly of us. Let's wait and be smart. So the next day, he's like, I got another house. And I'm like, we're not doing this again. And Allison's like, I got you, baby. Because she'll take care of things because I just get angry. And so she gets it, and she goes, 2 minutes. She's like, you need to come see this. And then so we put an offer on it, and then we bought the house. And that's us with the, hang on a second, 1, 2, 3, 4, love, I think, yeah. No, we're missing one there. I think one was at college at that time. So when you have 5, you're always inventorying. You're always doing, right? As you're always taking attendance every single time. But this was the point. The entire thing was realizing that not only was he great at the marketing, he was even better at the relationship and the real estate. Do great marketing, be even better with people. Because if you're great with people, a lot of times those relationships are the marketing. The trust is the marketing. You know where you lose that trust? If somebody sees you're using AI, right? Because if I see you're using AI in marketing, I think you're using it in real estate. And if I think you're using it in real estate, I think you're probably using my own personal financial information and submitting that to AI. I don't like that. I may not understand that, but I don't trust that. And that's your company. Authentic. Actual intelligence, right? So we have all this, and we realize, hey, and I'll show a picture of it. This is Petrus. This is the taping of our 200th episode. Every 100 episodes, we do a live studio audience because we just wanted to say, live studio audience. And there's Petrus there, and then Allison, and then Petrus' wife is Lorraine's beside. I don't know why we flipped that. And then there's Lorraine there. So that's the 4 of us. We went out for dinner in Oakville, which you need to take a mortgage for. And a friend of mine, so we don't go out for dinner mostly in Oakville at home. We just like to be home. I rarely go out for dinner. So we did go out with them, and a friend of mine saw the photo, and he's like, dude, you don't even go to dinner with me. I thought you hated realtors. And I'm like, we didn't go out for dinner with realtors. We went out for dinner with friends. And that's it right there. Because I still wouldn't go out to dinner with a realtor. That was it. And you're like, okay, but now, okay? But now some of you are getting those yeah buts, right? You're getting the yeah buts. Yeah, but this, yeah, but that. I'm going to show you the hurdles he jumped over to become our UnRealtor, just in his career. He was new to the continent. He had moved from South Africa to Oakville so his boys could play rugby. Right? Crazy, right? I went to the high school that's known for rugby around the world. Oh, I didn't play. I'm not sure if you could tell. I wasn't exactly these 3-inch biceps do not intimidate on the rugby field. So he was new to the continent. He was also a new real estate agent. I am not making this up. The morning of the talk, I spoke in the afternoon. That morning, he took his final exam. Now, he was a real estate lawyer in South Africa, and he wanted to be a realtor instead. Like, you can't be any more new and connectionless than him. His brokerage did not have a huge brand presence 15 years ago in Oakville. He's with Sotheby's. 15 years ago, I thought Sotheby's was an auction house in England that auctioned off Fabergé eggs. And if I wanted to live in a Fabergé egg, I would find a Sotheby's rep. But I did not know they were in real estate. There are 1,400, I'm going to say this again, 1,400 registered realtors in Oakville, this town of 140,000 people. That's what we call saturation. And I was exposed to their marketing and bus shelter advertising and postcards and flyers and newspaper ads and calendars and magnets and pens and koozies and stress balls and spindles and flippers and and all these things. I should start getting something. I'll throw something like rifles and this and like somebody just throw it in there. And he got the business. His move jumped all the brand equity in town. Jumped all of Century 21's, where my father worked. Jumped all of Royal LePage's, who is one of the most phenomenal real estate companies I've ever dealt with when it comes to Canada and being community-based. Jumped RE/MAX. I apologize if you're not with them. Your charity and your nonprofit is one of my favorite things in this country. jumped all of those equities because of that direct connection. It's really hard to do this type of stuff at scale, but it's incredible to do individually. And isn't that the point? If you believe relationships build your business, make building them your business. I love you all. Thank you so much for having me back again. I appreciate you.